Hi guys, it's Jenny and I'm joined by Lindsay, and today we're going to be doing a hamstring stretching session to get you all nice and loose on the back of the legs. You can follow along with me for the full versions, or if you're feeling like you want to take it easy today or you're not quite as flexible yet, you can follow Lindsay for some easier variations. For Lindsay's stuff, you'll need like a sofa or a chair, anything you can put your foot up onto to make it a little bit easier. Let's get started by testing our toe touch. So we'll just see where we're at this morning or this evening or wherever you are. Ooh. How far down can you get? How does it feel? Stiff. Yeah, it is the morning here, so always a little bit stiff in the morning. And to just make a little mental note of where you got to, and we'll see if we can improve that by the end. We're going to start off on the floor, or if you're with Lindsay, with your foot up onto a sofa. Our left leg is in front. And we're going to go forwards into a deep lunge. So I'm just stretching down my back hip. And then back into a hamstring stretch, just sitting your hips back towards your heels, straightening that front leg. And then forwards again, stretching this back hip. And then backwards, stretching your front leg. So even if you're on the floor, you can use your hands as much or little as you need on the floor for support, or have your hands on the hip, back to hamstring.
I'm going between hands on hip and then taking them off whenever I'm doing the straight leg.
Forwards to your lunge and back to hamstring. And this is just our first warm-up exercise, so no need to push too hard. We're just switching between them for about 8 reps. Ish.
I think that's 5.
5, yeah, that's all
sure.
Right, yeah.
Five's a good number, right?
Yeah, we're back at our hamstring, so that was 6, for sure. This is 7, and back, and forwards, 8, and back. Nice, so we'll just swap legs. My right leg is now in front, left leg is back. We'll lean forward into our lunge, and back into our runner stretch. This leg might feel a little stiffer. Could be because it is a little stiffer, or just because your other leg had loosened up and now we're starting again on this side.
The nice thing about doing it with my foot raised is I can change the intensity based on where my foot on the floor is.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, so if I'm in really close, then it's a bit easier. But if I'm out far, it's going to be not so easy.
Definitely not.
It's also harder to balance when I'm out further, actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. A nice advantage of the standing one, you get a bit of ankle stability.
Yeah.
Does anyone know how many we've done?
I was talking. I have no clue.
Me too. We'll do one more forward into that
like
lunge.
7.
And 8. Easy peasy. Great, so we're going to go into deep lunge rotations now. We're going to put our left leg forwards and our right leg back in a long lunge.
Oh, I need to do this with my
foot.
foot.
We need a bit more space if you're on the sofa. Yeah. So I'm going to keep my back knee down, or you can have your back knee off the floor. My right hand is on the floor supporting my body. Left hand lifts up to the sky, nice big twist. And down. Try and get the elbow close to the floor. Reaching up and reaching down. We're going to do 8 again.
Something around 8 anyway.
So this isn't a direct hamstring stretch, but what we're doing is stretching our hip flexion and our inner thigh. So sometimes our hamstrings can get tight if our inner thigh is tight, and if our pelvis is feeling a little tucked or tugged or pulled, our hamstrings can just be tight along for the ride, because they actually hook onto the bottom of your pelvis, your sits bones. So they're very much affected by what your hips can do.
Oh, that was 8.
Oh, nice.
Because I was counting that 10.
Thanks, Lindsay. Switch legs. My right leg is now in front, left leg is now back for a long lunge. I'm going to reach up to the sky with the right hand, and then down, right elbow by right foot. Of course, you can be on the floor and not quite getting your elbow down. That's totally fine. Just go to however deep you can go. There's no competition here. Unfortunately, There's no balloons when you get to the floor,
No.
which is rather upsetting.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing the first time I got to the floor.
Yeah.
Nothing. There was no sparkles. Nothing.
No glitter explosions behind you. Not fair, really.
No. Tom appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah. As soon as you get your elbow down, Tom just arrives.
I think this is it.
And nice, cool. So I'm going to sit on my bum. And if you're on a sofa or chair, just sit on the sofa or chair. I'm moving into some hip rotation using a 90-90. So my right leg is open in external rotation. My left leg is rotated in for internal rotation. Your knees at 90 degrees if you can. Hands can be behind you. We're just going to switch side to side.
I am also switching from side to side, but I'm raised, so it's not as intense, which is nice.
Yeah, still getting the rotation coming from the hip, which is awesome. We're doing this for about 60 seconds, so I do have a timer up there.
Did you look at it?
No. We've done about 20 seconds, I'd say.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. If you're feeling more comfortable, take your hands off the floor and just using your hips. Just switch from side to side. And then if you're feeling extra crazy today, lift the feet off the floor. I know.
Whoa.
And switch your feet that way. So we're actually using a little bit of strength.
So glad I don't have to do the hard bit. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, regression day is so nice. Even if you can do the full ones, sometimes it's lovely just to
take it easy.
Take it easy.
Especially when you're a bit stiffer in the morning.
3.
Or if you've done something
2,
like heavy the day before.
Oh yeah, yeah. My hamstrings are quite stiff today. We're going to move on to a calf stretch because your calves also can affect your hamstrings. Not only are they attached to the hips, they're also a really weird lock forms between your hamstrings and your calves when you straighten your legs. So they're very intertwined. We're going to, if you're doing my variation, kneel on the right leg and push the left knee over the left toes and use your body weight to stretch. However, we've got a different variation with Lindsay.
Which is so much nicer.
I
actually can't even do this.
No, yeah, if your ankles are super tight, this can feel really awkward. Which ankle are you stretching there, Lindsay?
Stretching my left one so I can feel it the whole way back up my calf. Depending on, I find it easy or better if I lift my foot, point it up to the ceiling, gives me a deeper stretch.
Nice one. So again, we're holding this for 60 seconds. And you can have a little wiggle. Your calves don't just move forward and backwards.
I also feel a slight stretch in my bent knee.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess when your ankle's flexed in any form, it's really efficient then, the regression, isn't it?
It is.
I'm just stretching one.
Amateur.
I know. I'm really taking it easy over here. I'm just chilling.
You really are. Yeah.
But I'm using my body weight to encourage my knee over my toes while keeping my heel flat. So that's the main thing about my stretch is the foot is flat. Whereas with Lindsay, the more you pull your toes up, the more stretch you'll feel in the calf. We're going to do another 10 seconds.
And I'm going to relax my foot for a while.
It's getting pretty intense.
It was taking ages.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Relax. We're going to switch sides. So I'm going to kneel on my left leg. Put my right leg pointing out to the side and then lean on that right knee to encourage a bit more range of motion. Luckily, going over 60 seconds is not the worst thing in the world.
No.
We're just going to be too flexible.
Oh, no.
I hate that, yeah.
I don't think I've ever had to say that I'm too flexible.
Yeah.
It's not a boast I have.
It'd be a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot to look at the clock again. 60 seconds-ish. We'll just go by feels.
When my leg starts to get sore and I have to put my foot down, we'll do 10 seconds.
That's how we'll know, yeah. So again, have a little wiggle. Just to hit a couple of different angles of that calf. Over the 60 seconds, it should start to release a little bit, but your calves are so overworked, because we walk all the time, if you're wearing heels or tight shoes or anything like that, they can take a while to release. Okay,
I'm ready to put my foot down.
We'll do another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice one. Okay, so we're going to pop up onto our feet and everybody is going to be standing for the next little bit. We're going to start off with standing forward fold circles. So we're going to go into a straddle. So it's a wider legs, our feet are wider than our hips. The width will fully depend on where you're comfortable. We're not going for middle splits here, but we're not just not stood like this. It is a wider position. Then we're going to reach up. We're going to go to our right and move our hands down towards our right foot. Sweep the fingertips over to the left foot and reaching up, making a big complete circle.
So I'm not going to use the arms because that makes it a lot more intense.
Oh yeah. We're going to go to the left, reach down to the left foot, sweep the fingertips round to the right foot.
I'm also doing the opposite direction too. My bad.
Well, that's okay. Go down to the right foot, sweep to the left, as long as you do something. Yeah, only go as far down as you feel comfortable to if you're not reaching the floor or if you're not feeling like you're going super low, as long as you're feeling your hamstrings stretch. So it's the right one as you go to the right, the left one as you go to the left. You're feeling both when you're in the middle. I think that's 7. And then one more, 8. Cool, and what we're going to do is then a hold. So we bring the hands down to the hips and fold forwards. We'll hold for about 60 seconds. I just looked at the clock. Look
Well
at
done.
me learning.
Oh, so proud.
Yeah. So if it's too intense to have your hands on the hips, you can do what Lindsay's doing, where she's put her hands on her shins, her knees and shins.
You can do higher, lower. It doesn't have to be your shin.
Totally, yeah, it could be your thigh. Just taking some of the weight.
I'm just not doing my knees. It's like the perfect height for me to do it on my knees, but then I don't want to push my knees.
Yeah, don't want to push them backwards. As you're folding, think about pushing your hips up and back. So we're trying not to just round from the back. We're flattening out that back and pushing the bum up and back as if we're like trying to put it on the wall behind us. Should be kind of weird. And you're thinking about putting your belly button through the gap in your legs rather than rounding your head and your chin. And it'll get a lot more hamstring stretch. 3, 2, 1. And coming back up, bend your knees a little. We're going to do that again. So we'll do the rotations, circles.
That was my hip.
That's a big crack. And then we'll do a hold. So hands up if you're doing the hands. We'll go to our right leg, sweep the hands round to our left, and up.
And I went the right direction that day.
Wow, look at you go. And down to our left, sweep to our right. As we're doing these circles, think of those same principles. The tummy is moving down to the floor rather than just the nose, and the bum is pushing back behind you. We're getting a proper hinge. Because remember how the hamstrings are attached to the bottom of your pelvis? If we can tilt it up, that means we are stretching the hamstrings even more, which is what we're trying to do today. 6?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. 7. We literally need someone here just to count
Yeah,
for us.
we really do.
And 8. Cool.
Anybody looking for a job in counting? Somebody good with numbers? 10 fingers would help. Yeah, well, 8 fingers.
And
2
2
thumbs.
thumbs.
Yeah.
Hands on the hips, so if you're going for that, and we'll fall forward for 60 seconds. Hands on the legs if you need. You might be able to go a little deeper this time. Maybe your hands are reaching the floor. Maybe your toes are moving a little bit wider in your feet. Let me just breathe here. So don't lose those principles of the hips pushing up and back and the belly button flattening down towards your thighs. Even if it means you don't feel you're going as low because you're not getting that rounding from your back helping you out, it is better and more beneficial to stretch that way.
You can use your breath to get lower as well. Like deep breath in and then try and fold a bit further whenever you're breathing out.
That's a very good tip. Your breath is super important. 5 seconds. 4,
I mean, breathing in general is super important, but
yeah, on the whole. Bending your knees, slowly come up. Yeah, you don't want to not breathe. So you give your legs a little bit of a shake. That was a quite intense one. We were stretching both legs at the same time. Now we're going to move on to unilateral stretching, which just means we're using one leg at a time. It's unilateral, one-sided. So we're going to do elephant walks. And what elephant walks are is where we fold forwards and bend one knee at a time, and we alternate like this. If you're regressing, all you just do is don't go all the way to the floor. You can have your hands on your thighs.
You can use a sofa.
Yes, for some support. So we're going to do 16 alternating, and then I'll stretch after that, which I'll show you when we get there. So go to whatever depth you are comfortable with, and then bend your right leg and straighten your left. Then switch, bend the left, straighten the right. 3, 4, 5. So we're stretching one leg at a time. You can twist your hips a little bit just to help get a bit more movement. And you can really push into that straight side, getting that lovely stretch all the way up your leg. Because you may feel it a bit in your calf, a bit behind your knee. That usually means that your calves are quite tight.
I've done 16.
Oh, good. Then we probably all have. Amazing. So what we'll do now is do a long hold with one leg at a time. So I'm going to keep my right leg forwards and step the left leg just behind it and then lean down. My left leg can bend, and we're focusing on that straight front leg. So it's very similar to that calf stretch regression that we showed you earlier, but this time we're focusing on the hamstring. The more we fold down and the more we lean forwards, the more hamstring stretch we'll feel. You can sway around a little bit if you like, hit different angles of that hamstring. And the more you push your hips up and back, exactly the same as the straddle, the more intense you'll feel it in your hamstring. Your hands can be on your thigh, on your shin, just for some support, or they can be on the floor if you're there. But there's no rush to get to the floor. Keep breathing. When you exhale, just sink in a little bit further. But you want to be at a level that you can hold rather than pushing to your 100% and then having to come out of it after 10 seconds. We've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Coming back up.
It's crazy how the same position can work so many different muscles.
Just by what you focus on and stuff. So switch legs. My left leg's now in front, my right leg is now back, and then sink the hips back, bending that right knee. And then you can move your body forwards, and that will increase the stretch on the hamstring. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to move it back again.
Oh, yeah. It's better to consistently stretch at 70% than do 100, shake for 20 seconds, and then never do it again. Well, the same things. We're going to tilt the hips up. Belly button is a thing moving down rather than our nose and our shoulders. You can have a little sway side to side, hitting the different angles. Can try rocking forwards and back.
A little bit, very small movements, guys.
Yeah. Last few seconds. 3, 2, 1. And coming back up, we're going to bring the feet together again, and we'll do one more round, starting with our elephant walks and then back to our ostrich stretch. I may be making these names up, but
I like them.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen an elephant walk like this.
But I mean, if it's an animal walk, it's great.
So bending the right leg, straightening the left, and then switch, bending the left, straighten the right.
You also get to think about animals then while you're exercising, so it distracts you.
Who doesn't want to do that? Yeah.
We should have some sort of a sloth movement. I like sloths.
I bet there is a sloth movement.
Just lying down.
Yeah, but really slowly.
Yeah.
Can you lie down slowly?
I mean, it would depend on the situation.
I bet a sloth movement would be really hard actually, because you would have to move super slow.
Yeah.
Really like core challenge. 10 maybe.
Oh, I was at 10 too, so we'll
Oh.
go with that.
11. Almost there. 14. 15. And 16. Nice. So then we're going to stand up. Keep our right leg forwards and straight as the left leg steps back. And we're going to tilt the hips, hinging over that front leg, bending the back knee, the left knee, and you can slide forward slightly to increase the hamstring stretch for 30 seconds. We are sitting down after this. Okay. So don't worry if your hamstring is starting to feel quite pummeled, quite stretched at this point. We are going to be taking it to the floor and taking it slightly away from the hamstrings directly. Keep breathing, keep moving. If you struggle to go upside down, it's quite late to say, but you can actually do this one by putting your foot on the sofa like we did at the very start. So it's just like you're more upright and your leg is straight out in front of you. But just, if you ever have one of those days where it's making you a bit dizzy to be so low, we're just going to hold it for 3, 2, 1, going back up. And switch sides, left leg forwards, right leg back. Gonna hinge the hips back.
It would be a good one if you have a cold or something. Like when your head's full of sickness. Upside down is not fun.
Nonsense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, any movement of your head just causes it to explode.
I know the last thing you want to do when you're sick is stretches, but it might help.
Yeah, you never know. Get you moving.
Yeah.
I usually just sort of lie down. Pretend I'm doing 99. Probably almost there. You can do these holds for up to like 2-3 minutes if your body is okay with that, and you will feel over that time your muscles just sort of let go. It's a really nice feeling where they just suddenly are like, fine, I'll stretch.
We're staying here.
Yeah, I'll accept this then. Bring yourself up. But a minute is a nice one to start with.
Yeah.
Okay, as promised, we're going to sit down. Or if you're not feeling the floor today, you can sit on your sofa or chair, or just grab a bunch of cushions to raise up your bum. We're going to be in a straddle.
I'm going 2 cushions.
Nice. So a straddle doesn't have to be the widest position that you've ever been in ever. It can be like 45 degrees with your legs, or it could be a 90 degree, wherever you're comfortable. And sitting on cushions will help take a bit of that leg flexion out.
Or even sitting on the sofa.
Exactly, yeah. So what we're going to start with is a left, right, middle bend. I'm going to have my hands up my head.
I'm not.
Lindsay can use her hands to support her. So I'm going to bend to my left, try and tap from my elbow to the floor. And then I'm going to bend to my right, try and tap the elbow to the floor. And then bend forwards. Ideally, we're tapping our chest or tummy to the floor, but not on the first rep. Or ever. So we go again. Left, right, middle. Oh, microphone touched the floor. Left, right, middle. That's 2. So we're stretching more of our sides and the lateral stretches, and then more of our inner thighs in this forward position. But as I was saying, it's all linked. So even though we're working on our hamstrings, getting our inner thighs and our QLs and all this good stuff moving is never a bad thing. Did 5?
Oh.
I don't know. Who knows? So what we're going to do now is a static hold, 30 seconds per side. I'm going to lean to my left. My left hand can just sort of drape, and my right hand can come over the top, or you can just keep it in front of you. If you can keep bending until you reach your toesies. And we'll just breathe. If you're not quite at the toes, you can use your left hand to support you, so you can hold this for 30 seconds.
I'm using my cushion.
Oh, a little
holding
support
it.
cushion.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and then switch over to the right side. Again, you could use your right hand to support, or you can just let it flop, depending on where you're at, how comfortable you are with the side bend. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and bring yourself back up. So we're going to go back to the left side and do a fold, but this time we're going to twist our torso towards the left side and then lean forward. So it's like it was trying to get that tilt that we were in our other stretches, but we're going like in a twist to do it. So we're just going to hold this for like 30 seconds. And you'll feel this is a bit more hamstringy, but we do have some inner thigh. And you'll also feel a stretch along your low back and QLs, depending on how easily you can twist or how far you're twisting. Halfway. You can use your hands to encourage yourself down a little further. I wouldn't like yank yourself down, but just a little nudge.
Or you can use your hands to stop you from going too far. Not that my body's going to go too far by itself anyway, but
switch sides, you never know.
It's nice to have that bit of support.
So twisting towards the right, then folding forwards, definitely. I think a lot of the way to make progress with stretching is that your body needs to feel safe.
Yeah.
So if you're shaking and like holding your breath and all these things and you're super tense, your body's not going to let you do it.
No.
So yeah, using your hands to hold yourself a little bit is a valid way of getting a bit more range of motion, because your body's like, oh, okay.
It helps your body get used to the position as well without, as you say, freaking out. 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself up. So you definitely want to use your hands for this next one. So this next one, we're doing a forward fold, moving towards a pancake. And a pancake is where you've literally got your chest and your tummy on the floor. We're going to start off just folding forwards, however far you can go, that you can still breathe deeply. We're going to hold this one for 60 seconds. Notice that you can still breathe.
Well, yeah, just breathing in general. As we've covered, breathing is
important.
Is pretty important. Yeah. We're going to try and keep our feet pointing upwards rather than letting them roll in. And sink into it. Like we've done about 20 seconds there, so we can just maybe sink a little bit further. But whenever you feel your body sort of like letting you, just try and go that little bit further.
I always find that cushions or a block to sit on for this position helps me a lot.
Yeah.
Because my hips don't
tilt.
Go to the right tilting position without it.
Oh, definitely. It's not one, like, you never need to achieve a pancake.
No, but it'd be so nice.
It would be cool.
Imagine Pancake Tuesday.
Oh, eating pancakes in a pancake.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Right, yeah, it's not essential. We've got about another 10 seconds, so we're going to try and go a little bit lower again.
I'm just going to walk my hands out.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get my elbows down. Jenny's just going to have a nap there.
I'm trying not to crush my microphone. It's down there. 3, 2, 1, and coming back up. So wherever you're at, just really nice and slowly bringing the knees together using your hands. And we're going to slowly make our way back up to standing nice and gingerly, because our legs have had quite the session today. Just give them a little bit of a shake, making sure they're feeling good. We're going to do some hip rotations, standing circles, nice and big, nice and loose, getting ourselves moving after that last final hold. Switch directions. A little hip circle. It's a great move.
Yeah.
If you can't think of anything else to do, you can just circle the hips. Okay, and we're going to retest our toe touch. Let's see where we're at. Is there an improvement? Do you feel better?
Oh, yeah.
You feel stretched. Nice, look at that. Really good. So you may find that your toe touch is better. You may also find that it actually is a little worse, because sometimes when you stretch a lot, as I was saying before, your body can actually tense up. So if that's the case, don't get disheartened. It could just be that you're not quite used to stretching yet, and you'll get there with a bit more practice and time. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.